Hi there, and thank you for joining us for UnSCRIPted. I'm Angela Kashuba, Dean of the UNC Eshelman School of Pharmacy. We have an amazing community, all working toward a shared goal of solving the world's most pressing healthcare challenges. I'm excited for you to hear unscripted stories of our faculty, staff, students, alumni, and partners. Today, I have invited John and Kelly to join me for my final unscripted conversation. Welcome.
Hey.
Oh, hey.
So, John, you are Executive Director of Eshelman Innovation.
I am.
And Kelly, you are president of our Pharmacy Foundation, also of our Alumni Association, and Associate Dean for External Affairs.
I am.
She has so many more titles.
Yeah,
actually.
she does.
Only I got paid by my number of titles.
That's kind of what we do in academia, is we give titles as opposed to increasing pay. Yeah. So I want to have a conversation today about your history here at the school and your accomplishments and a look back at all of the things that you'll fondly remember and also all of those things that you hope for the school and the institute and the university for the future.
Yeah.
So let's start with the past. So John, you and I started at the same time, same day, October 1st of 2019. Who knew we'd be in for a pandemic a few months later.
Correct.
And then Kelly, you started in your role 4 years ago. So just about a year after we started ours. Talk to me about what you thought about joining a pharmacy school. What compelled you to join our school, and if there were any particular surprises for you in those early days.
So for me, it was a little bit of coming back, but almost all those experiences in pharmacy school were all in the UK.
Yes.
But the drive for me, having left the pharma industry and left Lilly, was to do something completely different. And one of the domains that I was particularly interested in is working with young talent. And so to go to the #1 pharmacy school, to work with the talent that's in the PharmD program and in the research enterprise was really the driving force. It just so happened that by some really strange twist of fate, this opportunity to run the institute kind of came along at a similar sort of time, and it happened in a very bizarre way, which I won't bore you with now. But to work back at a university, to work with young talent, and so obviously some of the other talent we have with the faculty and others, was really the driving force. And it just worked out great. And I couldn't have planned it better if it really was a plan, because it wasn't much of a plan. It just kind of happened.
Yeah. Okay. Kelly.
I started in this role 4 years ago, the foundation president role, but I have been at the pharmacy school almost 9 years. And so at the time, I was working at the university at the Cancer Center doing fundraising, and have done various fundraising jobs from athletics to medical schools to cancer centers through the years. Annie Hager-Plunk, who is my predecessor in my role, had actually called me and said, I remember I was sitting at the beach. She said, "Kelly, I want to talk to you about the pharmacy school." I said, "Why?" And she said, this is a really special place, and I'd like to see. And I had friends who went to the pharmacy school at Carolina, so I knew this was a good school, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't know anything about pharmacy, really, and I didn't know the breadth of our school. Bob Lewin described more about the research enterprise and everything that's going on here, which really resonated with me because coming from Weinberger, I really enjoyed doing a lot of the helping fundraise for cancer research. And this would give me an opportunity to do that on a wider range of diseases, working with really innovative faculty. And so fast forward 9 years, and now I kind of play a pharmacist on TV, even though I'm not one. And it's just been a true joy to be here.
So I thought we were great back in 2019, pretty good school.
Other people did too. We were number one.
That's right. Yeah. So we were #1 in 2016. That was our first #1 ranking. And then we've had 2 subsequent rankings where we're #1. But I thought we were pretty amazing back in 2019. Where we are now compared to where we were in 2019 is just like a sea change. We've more than doubled our research enterprise in 5 years. That's incredible. I want John to talk about Eshelman Innovation and how that has been transformed over 5 years as well. Even in our educational space and our practice space, the things that we're doing for our state, I mean, our people have just accelerated all of their work and have really focused their expertise in ways that I couldn't even imagine. So John, why don't you start by talking about Eshelman Innovation and that transformation that's taken place?
Yeah, sure. We now describe Eshelman Innovation as a translational engine. So we're about taking technology on campus. One of the things that we did change fairly early on was we were going to help translate technology not just at the School of Pharmacy, but Fred and the Chancellor at the time and you, Angela, allowed us to look for technologies across campus, right? Not just in the School of Pharmacy.
Yes.
So we're looking for technologies just in two domains. One is therapeutics. So we have now a portfolio of over 18 novel therapeutics, all in early stage development. We're starting to get interest from corporates and ventures to acquire those technologies.
It's amazing.
And then we have our second swim lane, which is digital health. And we've had this venture studio now for several years, led by Bob Dieterle. And, we're in the middle of a pivot right now that incorporates AI, ML into the development of those companies, because in the last 6 months, artificial intelligence has completely transformed new venture creation. And I think, biased opinion, we're at the forefront of that, particularly with our partnership with Amazon AWS, creating these companies. And we've got great examples now of companies that are in market right now impacting patients. So the idea that we can do a better job of taking these technologies from the campus and getting them to patients is what we've been all about over the last 5 years.
Yeah, it's amazing to think about, a humble, publicly funded pharmacy school having such talent to lead important global efforts. I think that's just incredible. And even when we think about drug development and how long it takes a drug to get to market and how expensive it is to get a drug to market, the work that Eshelman Innovation has done in pulling forward 18 compounds now from various faculty across campus and shepherding it through stages such that there is a path forward to application into patients, that's amazing in a really short period of time. I think it's just incredible. And Kelly, for you, what are you most proud of?
A lot of things. I'm proud of our team at the foundation and our alumni association. When you became dean, your first kind of speech, I guess, to all of us, you said that you wanted everybody who walks or has walked their halls to feel valued and connected. And that's something that became a mantra in our office, because whether it's the foundation, alumni association, or now with external affairs marketing, and legislative education, we're kind of the front porch to the pharmacy school. And we really took that as a challenge of how could we make our 8,800 alumni, how could we make our full community feel part of something bigger and better and connected. And I think that we've made a lot of strides in the past 5 years, but in the past month or so is you've been announcing your departure, my departure. A lot of the messages that have been pouring in from our wonderful community have been, I really feel much more connected to my pharmacy school, and that means a lot to me. And so I think if you talked about our hopes, if we can kind of continue this culture, because I think we're better together, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And so it's been a true joy to build the team, build the foundation, and build our alumni to support the mission of the school, because we have so much to give and the school has so much to do.
No, I love that, because I don't think we can reach our full potential, achieve our full potential without our alums. They are out in all of these jobs from NASA to NVIDIA, we say. And so for them to be able to tell us where pharmacists are needed and how we should be training our PharmD students, or how we should be training our PhD students or our master's students, what are those opportunities? And having them come back and inspire our students in terms of what they they could be or how they should prepare for jobs that don't even exist
Yeah.
yet. I mean, our alums are just critical in terms of everything that we do. So I love that your team has helped tell our story
Yeah.
and helped build those connections, because I think our school is better for it. So, John, for you, what are your hopes for the future of Eshelman Innovation? Where do you see Eshelman Innovation going?
Yeah, it comes back to this idea of being not only the innovation engine of the school, but the innovation engine, frankly, hopefully for the state.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got work going on right now in here in Chapel Hill, but we've got work that's going on out west. We've got collaborations that we're looking at with UNCW, UNCC,
Yeah.
our friends down at ATRIB down in Charlotte as well. So I think there is potential to really drive significant innovation, drive the ecosystem for the state.
Yeah.
And I think in many ways that was Fred's ambition.
Right.
When he invested his money into the school, $100 million into the school. But I think we've only just started. It's examples like that where we can create companies out of UNC Chapel Hill and out of the School of Pharmacy that are, transforming healthcare, and that's the goal. I genuinely believe that Eshelman Innovation is just at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think the future is pretty exciting.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Kelly, for you.
Our reconnection with the state of North Carolina,
Yes.
everything from how we recruit students, how we think about the scholarship support that we provide those students to get more really awesome North Carolina talent to see a future in pharmacy and pharmaceutical sciences with us, to the Rural Pharmacy Health Initiative that we've launched, the way we've engaged our alums, our partnership with MAHAC. And I really hope that the school continues that connection to the state, because I believe strongly that the University of North Carolina is a really special place because we're the first public and we're buying for the people of North Carolina. I think our secret sauce is that we're excellent, but we're excellent for the greater good with our public roots, and I hope that we can maintain that. At the same time, for North Carolina, my other hope for the school is, as you've heard me say, is world domination. So, what's next when you're number one in the nation for 3 times in a row? And what's next is to be number one in the world. And I think we have all the ingredients in place to get there, from Eshelman Innovation and everything John described, which no other pharmacy school has a resource like that, to our Vanguard curriculum, to our research enterprise, the way we're advancing the profession. I think we can be number one in the world, and that's within our reach, and excited to see the school take that on for the benefit of the people of North Carolina. And so if we can do that, state to world domination, it's a lot of exciting things to come for the UNC Eshelman School of Pharmacy.
I love it. It has been just an absolute joy to work with both of you over the past 5+ years. You've done amazing things. You've inspired me, you've inspired the school, and you've really created significant impact and have positioned us so well for the next 100 years. So thank you both for everything that you've done for the UNC Eshelman School of Pharmacy.
Thank you, Angela.
Pleasure.
It's been a pleasure, and you have been awesome and a joy to work with. And since this is the last Unscripted, I think we need to give a shout out to Donald Harvey, one of our alums, who actually at one of our Alumni Association meetings, we were talking about how we can help people feel valued and connected. And he was like, have you guys thought of filming the dean talking to people and having conversations?
And I thought it was a terrible idea.
And
but
yet,
he was right.
He was right. And so maybe your next gig is in daytime TV, because you've done a wonderful job with this series. And thank you, Donald. Thank you, Angela, for creating this and helping us all better understand what this school does in our amazing community.
It's been so fun to have people feel valued and connected. So thank you all. And thank you so much for joining Unscripted. Stay tuned for Unscripted 2.0. It's been a real joy to be part of this series and to connect with you all. And I hope that you will continue to connect with the school in our mission to advance medicine for life.